And so, yes, your party is currently obviously without Nathaniel, but it is now also without Isabel. She quite literally vanished in thin air. Mid conversation, not really, but sort of.
Well, I will have you know that my goal for this session is to try and avoid your character's introduction wherever possible. That just you have to be a spectator 2 in a row, and Michael just has to literally like this guy walks up to you on the road and like just forces it to happen.
Yeah, he knows. He's. It's going to be very hard for you guys to find Rip Nugget, but once you do.
And if you're trying to avoid him, that's where he's going to crop up. So let that wash around in your head for a while.
The game within a game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is like championship rock, paper, scissors right here.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta really be watching for that little Rip Nugget. And then there was also someone had a weird dream about a talking goat or something. One of those nights. All right. Anything else? We cover everything? If not, just go listen to the tape. So, after traveling from where you spent the first part of your evening, you make your way around the busier portion of Riverwood, under the cover of night, towards Xerces' workshop, I think. Yeah, so it was a mild fall day today, and the winds are now starting to pick up as a heavy rain begins to fall, so that's ominous. And randomly rolled, so that's fun. So Xerces' workshop, it's not too far out of town to be like severely inconvenient for those would-be customers that Xerces did have in town. But it is also kind of far enough away that the noise of very loud gunshots that often sprang up from that region would be less bothersome to the citizens of Riverwood. It is not on the main drag into Riverwood from the west, but it's a pretty easy trek up like kind of this well-trodden road or path off the main road. The only building within the confines of like Riverwood proper that is closer to Briarwood is the massive mill that is in town and that is kind of on the Peregrine River, where many of the citizens here work. As you head north up that path towards Xerces' workshop, you kind of come around the area to see this kind of terraced front yard of sorts. It kind of like goes up a few terraces where there are these yards kind of built up, almost like a larger stair step, with a stone staircase kind of cutting up the center toward a fairly decent sized wooden structure. Xerces has probably talked about his workshop in the past, but even looking at it, it might be a little larger maybe than what you may have expected, as he's kind of mostly just references as like my workshop. But like you can tell looking at this place that it is fairly roomy, and as much as it's a workshop, it also kind of does like resemble like a small like country general store or something. Like it has a storefront, and then it kind of has upper area where Xerces lives above. Behind the workshop, there are a good deal of small trees, which Xerces was able to convince the mill to like leave for the sound dampening purposes, because as stated, gunshots are quite loud. As you approach the area, it is quite dark at this point, which, noted, Xerces is actually peculiar. this darkness. 4, your porch is normally illuminated by light of an ever-burning candle, of which you have created. And that light is doesn't seem to be there. You guys are probably like 100, 200 feet away, kind of like down the hill at this point.
So I kind of imagine as we're walking through, Xerces is kind of reminiscing a little bit about how it's been such a crazy couple of months, and it's weird to be back here. And you can tell he's kind of almost giddy to be back home, like really home. And slowly he's kind of realizing that something is not quite right as we get closer and closer. And he'll say, "Be on your guard, everyone. My workshop is not how I left it. It shouldn't be nearly this dark."
Like, leave the keys with someone and ask them to check up on it? Maybe they turned off the lights?
There would be no reason to turn them off. They're ever burning for a reason. I think they're the most popular item bought. It's not a big deal, but regardless, there's no reason to turn them off. It's not like I had a cat or anything either. Nothing to feed.
Wait. You had ever-burning candles, and we were stuck with Isabel lighting coins for light?
Well, I didn't think we were going to be, deep in some caves or anything. They're really more used for reading or lighting a small room. But yeah, I guess it had never even occurred to me. Regardless, let's go see what might be wrong.
You want me to send out the arcane eye to investigate? Do you think like someone might be waiting for you there?
I couldn't think of who that might be. I just know things are not as I left it. And I think the last 2 months have left me on edge. It's probably fine. Maybe mechanical failure. And he'll just sort of continue to walk toward the front door.
How far are we away?
About 200 feet-ish.
Okay.
How many
Unless you want to be further away.
How many people are in the party? What's our head count?
Should be Anna, Xerces, Steven, Saru, Arthur, and Sarah.
6?
Yeah. Let's say, when we get within 100 feet, Anna can send Lunes to look through a window or something, just to make sure there's not some obvious trap sitting nearby. That's cheaper than a 4th level spell. So, nothing pops out at us 100 feet away. It wouldn't be a big deal to have just the bird look at the windows. So,
With you.
So
Anna and I's disguise self still up?
If you want them to be, they'd probably be close to the over. If Anna re-upped hers, I know that.
I'll re-up mine.
Yeah, so that's up to you guys. I'm
no, she shifted out of the urchin guy. I don't think it's like a thing where you shift back and forth. But I remember doing that because I changed, so I didn't want to startle Steven. So she shifted out. But she's good. And when we're about 100 feet away, she'll warg with Lunes and have Lunes fly up and look through the windows.
awesome. I'm putting together the most makeshift map of this campaign, so you guys gonna be real stoked about the looks of this one.
Theater of the mind.
Yeah, basically theater of the mind, but theater of the mind with like a scribble map, like an old scribble map with a little more detail that doesn't matter. So pay no attention to the detail. But let's go to the scribble map, and don't mind having Isabel with you. She's obviously not there. I just want Croft to be able to see the screen because Will can see through the rock. Or a question mark. All right. So this is probably a good distance for you guys to be. You guys can be in whatever marching order you please. The terraced steps kind of moving up would be somewhere in this region. So, and the front door is like here. Ish, give or take. Let me know what you want to do.
Are there any?
Yeah, so the front is kind of this kind of large. There's a bunch of like it's mostly this wooden or stone structure at the base, and then above it's wooden. And you can see that there is like a shuttered window up above the porch that you can see from the front. That beneath is like a double door that you can see from this distance, kind of down the steps.
Okay. I mean, Anna would just have Lunes fly up and look through the window, and she'll see through his eyes.
Dope. Roll as you kind of get up there. Roll a Perceptione check. Nice. So yeah, a few things of note just as Luna starts flying up and you're kind of looking through his eyes. You can see where Xerces kind of mentioned, something's afoot, the ever-burning candle situation. You can see this kind of spot on his porch. It looks like a spot where like a lamp would be, and there is this kind of broken piece at the top that just, whatever this is appears broken and unlit. You also can see that the front doors that are currently closed, which lead into the kind of main like storefront area, appears to have a large chain kind of wrapping between the doors, around the doors, through the handles, and there is a polished metal padlock on the doors. You being a royal from a different city, you're familiar with the idea of these types of things. Shops getting locked up when taxes are unpaid. In Briarwood specifically, people refer to them as a Lord's Lock. Which you'd probably be familiar with as well, just spending time in Briarwood. From time to time, you would see
On my favorite bars.
Some bars would get locked. Some random general stores would get locked from time to time. Some of those would then turn over, change into new things. Other times, sometimes just like, well, every 30 days there's a lock on this place, and then they re-up after that. So that is something that you note on the door. And last, as you kind of approach that window, that it is missing one of the shutters. So that window is actually open. There is kind of a cloth hanging in front of it. And there is, it's raining real nice and heavy right now, which is pretty fun for everyone.
Xerces, were you up on your taxes? Is there any reason why there should be he called it the Queen's lock, but I assume it's the Lord's lock here on your door?
I mean, I would assume I would have locked up before I left, but is this extra, Michael?
Yeah, this is definitely not like your lock. This is on top of basically your lock, which is interesting. Unexpected, probably for you.
Missed opportunity to turn Xerces into this libertarian character who thinks taxes are illegal.
I mean, as far as Xerces knows, he was asked to be on this charter, so why would his shop be locked up? Curiously, it is.
Looks like there was an ever-burning candle out front, and that is missing. There's an intimidating lock on the door, and then a shutter is open. So I guess Anna will have Lunes fly through the cloth and look inside the shop.
Lovely. All right, Lunes goes in to the shop. Roll a perception check as you kind of enter upstairs. It is immediately a semi-cramped area, and this is kind of the upstairs where you're entering into. There's rafters above, and the place is kind of filled with shelves and books, and you can actually see an area where there's like a cot where Xerces would stay. This was more of his leisurely area, the library, his bedchamber, and it is a fucking mess as you enter here, like big time mess.
Like not Xerxes' slob mess, like ransacked mess.
That is a good question.
I'll ask.
Yeah, maybe ask Xerxes.
Were you in a rush before you left your room, looking for something in particular, and then just left it area, or did you're either an auteur and just leave your stuff everywhere, or somebody ransacked your place? Could be both, I suppose.
I wouldn't say that I'm overly clean, but I try to keep my upstairs tidy at least.
I would go with somebody ransacked the place, then put a lock on it. Nobody seems to be up here, at least.
Without saying anything more, Xerxes will kind of hurriedly walk to the front door and examine the lock to see if he might be able to just shoot it off.
Lovely. Yeah, as you approach, you can see that there is a nice heavy lock on that door. It's plausible. You could shoot it off. It's a heavy lock, but it's not an impenetrable magic lock or anything like that.
Anna will unwarg, and as she's walking over with him, kind of like look as he's looking at the lock. We can magic it off if you prefer, unless this is a personal.
Without a loud bang of a gun exploding, but with a loud bang of a lock being exploded. Xerxes, you are able to immediately kind of bust that lock and rip the chain off to the floor. Just kind of falls there.
Is there any sort of eviction note or this person, is there any sort of official document from anybody?
Roll an investigation check, just kind of in that front porch area. Yeah, looking around, like specifically for something like that, there isn't, and that is somewhat curious. Usually there is some type of official like paper placed on the door, placed underneath the door, and as kind of Xerces busts the lock and starts opening the front doors, like you don't see that anywhere. So that is kind of immediate red flag, I'd say, something of interest. Xerces. The front door, opening that up, obviously don't really, this is really just for, so we have a map to kind of look at. But as you kind of open that up and you see this kind of multiple roomed place, obviously you can't see any of the back rooms, whatever. But for those of you, or for Anna, if any of you are coming up behind, looking at kind of this first room, this is, I mean, the storefront. This is what Xerces uses as storefront, workspace. There are a few display shelves across the way. There's his large workbench that he has in here to one side of the room. Next to the workbench, Xerces is where you have Fogel's little perch. No Fogel to be seen as you kind of scan the room. The room generally looks as you left it. Though you do note, Xerces, that some of the boxes just kind of aren't where you left them on the shelves. Some of them are kind of placed at the base of the shelves. Things just seem a little bit off to you. There's one display in particular that you knew had some ever-burning candles on it, that you don't see those. And then kind of on that main counter, the area where you would literally do business, there is a wooden chest that you do not recognize. A small wooden chest, longer, like about the size of a shoebox, but probably longer. And it is reinforced with like this kind of dark metal bracing. And beside it, and then on the floor next to it, there are a few random tools of yours. Like there's a crowbar, there's a couple random tools from your forge, and there's also like a sturdy metal chain that's also from the back of your forge, just kind of like sitting near this thing on the counter, just kind of all around it.
This isn't good.
Does that box look like any sort of anything in particular? Like Anna would like, I guess she wouldn't know it's different, so I'll shut up. Xerces, this is different.
I mean, even you looking at it, like it looks out of place, and you can tell that some of those like tools and stuff around it, that, I mean, it's kind of an odd little like thing, for sure.
Xerces,
Yeah, we either need to all go in or get out of here, but standing out here in the middle probably isn't a good idea either. And I'm going to start walking in.
Yeah, Xerces is moving toward the forge area. And while he's doing that, he'll say, "Somebody was obviously looking for something quite intensely. Anna, can you please take a look at that chest? I have something important to look for."
Okay.
And he'll go back into the forge, which is like the back room, but just leaving that open for you guys.
Love it. So Xerces, as you immediately walk into that back room, you see that your alchemical workshop and forge area here is a complete mess. And not mess as in Xerces is messy. Like, things are not in their place. Things are on the floor. The place looks ransacked. You can see there are papers, there are books that have kind of come from up your upstairs loft area that are down, just scattered on the floor. There are some vials and beakers that are cracked and broken, and then kind of like piles on the floor. Some of the piles of which are kind of oddly like shoved to the side of the room, like kind of in corners and stuff, almost as if like they were like tidied out of the middle of the room. Kind of an odd thing, but it's a mess. Your tools and equipment are kind of scattered. Yeah, it's not great.
He will go straight for the hidden area under his forge.
Moving to the forge and kind of like digging around, you might feel kind of immediate relief as that area is closed. It is covered. Though as you open it, that relief leaves as the one of your early prototypes that you kept in that safe is missing.
Xerces will just sort of hang his head and try and take all this in.
Those of you in the front at the moment, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go do an investigation of the weird box.
Lovely.
I'm starting to cast Detect Magic as a ritual on the box.
Lovely. 19. Yeah, so the box is, as I said, pretty like sturdy looking. Reinforced metal. You don't see any physical lock on the box. Just a kind of like seam where it would apparently open. And it is just thick wood, sturdy metal. With that 19, there is something that kind of catches your eye about it. Just the coloration of everything, the wood color with the metal, the way the rivets are on the box. Like it actually reminds you a bit of the wagon of which you saw a few days prior. Like it's the same. It's the wood and the metal, like it just matches, like it's made from the same materials of the wagon that you saw the day prior, the same wagon that had the metal cages in the back.
The 2 sets of tracks.
There were tracks near the wagon as well. Yeah.
We figured out someone had escaped. That was what I was remembering, right?
Yeah, correct. You found broken manacles at the wagon, and then there were the 2 dead corpses with the manacles on.
No,
but the wagon was like of custom make, with these kind of cages built in and kind of hidden in the back section of that wagon. Which is, fairly strange.
so does this piece look like it's it's almost like a cage or like an unfinished cage, or is it just like this metal looks like the same, the metal and the wood they used?
Yeah, it looks more like the metal and the wood that was used to create the wagon. There is like a handle on the side, and it's almost reminiscent of like a drawer or something. Like it's like if this is from that wagon, it's possible that it was like some kind of like drawer or secret compartment within.
Is it a safe assumption, judging by the tools next to it, that someone was trying to open it and couldn't?
There is.
That's it's a possibility.
There is a crowbar, other things nearby.
And so there's like a lip around the top, right?
Yes, it does. It looks like it can open.
As Anna looks at it, does it look like it has been opened, or is it like a very it's a very perfect seal?
Yeah, very, very very, very nice seal. Does not look like it's been opened.
So Anna will try to just. What happens if she tries to open it?
Steven would try and stop you and just. Do you want to let me finish my ritual first? He says as he's doing, the stuff. Or not. I don't care. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yep, it's a mimic.
Roll
That's
for
fine.
initiative. No, it's not. It's not a mimic, and it does not open. It's almost as if it's just like is physically incapable of opening. That's how it feels.
Does anything happen? So Anna will put her hand down and try to pull out pull on the handle of a drawer, the drawer down there.
Yeah. So you grab the handle, kind of trying to tug it, and nothing moves. It's feels very solid.
Mm.
Well, you can either let me finish, or you can just knock it open. Those are the kind of the only choices.
I was just reading knock. Anna's just gonna knock it open.
Lovely.
I will back the heck up.
As you cast lock or knock, there should be a spell called lock. As you cast knock, you see immediately the seam kind of almost as if it gasps, as air kind of escapes. The seam just gives way, and then the top slowly opens as it is suppressed. Xerces, you hear this sound, this loud knock kind of echo through. Before that, roll just a general investigation check, as you're kind of taking in that back room. Pretty good. Xerces, the back room, as you're kind of just looking around and taking stock of everything that you see back here, everything that isn't in its spot, that you can't keep track of the things immediately missing to you, that you're going to want to dig around more to see if they're there, or as you may presume, they may have been taken as well. You note there's a specific set of tinker tools that is gone. It's one of your earlier iterations, not quite as good as the ones you have now. Not you've iterated over time, making them quicker, faster, easier to handle. But it is a specific set that you use specifically on firearms that is missing. There is a set that would not be useful otherwise, but on firearms. There is a few immediate barrels of black powder that are missing. There are also a large area of some of your alchemical supplies that you would use to make the black powder cartridges. There's a few ammunition cases that you immediately track that are not in their spot on the shelves, as well as a decent amount of scrap metal that you just had for creating some of these alchemical cartridges. You're not sure exactly what's missing from above, but you can see some of your books are scattered, some of the pages torn, kind of just walking and maybe picking up a book, looking at it. It's an alchemical book. Some of the pages just kind of look like they've been torn out, be them taken or maybe scattered across the floor. It's hard to tell. But this is just kind of as you're looking around, taking this in, it's obvious this was seems targeted. There's valuables here that are still here. A good deal of valuables that are still here. And then that loud knock kind of like shakes you out of it. And you also see movement across the room, like catty corner-ish. As we take our 8
o'clock break.
As we take our 8 o'clock break. Wow!
Did it.
When have I ever said that before? We good to go? Sorry for destroying your shop, Xerces.
I just wanted nice things, a nice relaxing time in my own house.
You gave me such a nice description of this place, and then I just shit all over it. That's what I do.
We're
Ask
just hope we
Nick
don't
about the
find
Waterdeep
his,
campaign.
just hope we don't find his mechanical bird smashed in the corner somewhere.
That's gonna be rough.
Then we'll have a problem.
Oh!
This is when Xerxes becomes John Wick.
We're about to meet Prisoner Will, so I'm really excited for that interaction. Or Prisoner Andrew, though that would be hilarious if Croft disappeared and gets to come back in before Will. I wouldn't hate that either.
Yeah, who's to say? Who's to say what we're about to find? I think we're rolling for initiative.
One of you guys should create a Prison Mike character.
Maybe I should create a Magic Mike character.
Oh, that'd be
You are
fun.
going to Briarwood. There's probably some cool places there.
I'm gonna be a bard that casts spells with his dong.
I kind of like that.
Swish and flick, baby, swish and flick.
I don't like that at all.
You said roll for initiative, right, Michael?
Well, that was more of a joke. Hopefully.
Oh, I thought you legit meant it. All right.
We'll find
Well, I
out.
rolled terrible, so I don't care.
Oh, 18 is terrible, so that's horrifying for me.
I mean, it's a 10.
God. 10's good. 10 on the die is good. At this level, especially. So as the knock fills 300 feet of area, Xerces, you kind of like shake out of your investigation. That's the word. And you see movement across the room. Kind of just like a quick, sudden movement, almost as if something were startled by an unexpected noise that was loud, like a knock.
He'll sort of just whip around and draw his weapon, kind of feeling jumpy.
Across the room, you see what immediately kind of looks like maybe a humanoid figure, but covered in like from here it looks like a tarp or a robe or blanket or something. Very hard to see, but you do have your gun pointed at what you suspect is a humanoid. And not like a random deer that happens to be in your shop or something, which also would have been fun.
That would be fun.
Will is playing a deer. Spoiler. That's it.
He will say, "Who are you and what are you doing in my shop? Where have you put it?"
Which you all hear.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Just don't hurt me. I just came in to get away from the rain.
luck with that voice for a long time, Croft. Good luck.
I'll
God
try
bless.
as long as I can.
Yeah,
It
So
may
perfect.
change a couple times.
real long-term character choice.
It's so perfect.
Where did you get in here?
The window was open.
You didn't see the chain and think maybe it's not a great idea to come in?
I didn't think anyone was home.
Xerces, who are you talking to? What's going on?
I think I may have found a thief.
No,
Kill him!
not the thief. Not the thief.
He's like cowering. He's like hiding behind the desk or something, or table.
Can Anna push open the box?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There are some things in the box for sure
What's in the
that
box?
that Anna looks over. A quick look would grant you there's a good amount of pouches. There looks to be a dagger, a few sets of manacles that you seem to think are familiar as they connect wrists to ankles, similar to the one you found before. There's a set of keys. There's kind of like a scrolled up note of some kind, maybe a scroll. There is kind of like this small kind of black pot. There is some kind of like metal rod. Looks to be a few also potions and a few vials filled with stuff. Just as you glance over the contents of the box.
Oh, yeah. She'll pick up the scroll, kind of glance over it, and like she'll see people moving towards Xerces, but she kind of like wants to quickly read over the scroll, see if she can get any information quick.
A little bit. I will show that to you.
Cool.
It should show up like on the top of your journal on the right side. Just says mysterious note. Xerces. Well, Croft, why don't you describe what Xerces is kind of getting a better glance at, as I'm sure he's one to make sure he has a good angle for a shot at all times.
Sure.
What does he see?
You see kind of almost like a pitiful, strange humanoid creature, kind of hunched over. It was already like hunched over, and now it's even like kind of like trying to hide from you, or hide from your line of sight. But you got a good enough view before. You saw the, like Michael described, the kind of like hooded or like blanket. It's just kind of like this matted layers of these torn and grime-stained rags. Each layer seems to be kind of like different. But despite kind of like its terrible condition, like you only saw like that and like his face. You didn't see much else beyond that right now. But his face is might have once been akin to human or something more normal. There were still, it was similar basic structure and everything, but off-putting and far too strange to really be anything pleasant. Two eyes. One is closed. One is kind of that brightly glowing orange, unblinking, and the other just kind of stays mostly shut. It seems. Didn't seem to really be a nose. Just two slits for nostrils. and his like lips have like peeled back, just exposing his teeth, making it kind of difficult to read his face. That's all you really kind of saw from that dark corner across the room.
I'd say you've got about 5 seconds to explain who you are and why you're here, or things are gonna get nasty.
All right. I'll come out.
He's like kind of like shuffle waddling out towards you. You see he's just like bare feet, more of that kind of grayish blue skin that you see in his face, peeking down there. But the robe and cloth and whatever rags still covers the rest of his body.
I saw the tools through the window, and I wanted to try and open something. I couldn't open it. That's all. I didn't take anything. I didn't break anything.
You cast Detect Thoughts.
What's up? Sorry. I didn't hear you.
I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Beautiful. Can you put that in the chat? All right. Just surface level, or are you trying to
Just service level right now.
get in there? As you kind of try to focus specifically on this kind of like pitiful looking creature kind of groveling before Xerces. It's odd. First, it sounds more like almost like static. You're not able to really hear anything, and then you kind of like just focus in a little bit further, and that static actually sounds more to you like excuse me, like the sounds of like waves, like the soft sound of like just kind of waves like crashing against like the side of a ship or something. Like it's very subtle and soft, but that's all you get.
I'll ask him, how'd you find this place?
I was in a wagon taken by slavers past the wall, and I managed to escape. I just went in a direction. I found this town, and well, I don't think people would take my presence kindly, so I looked for a place on the outskirts.
Does his answer to my direct question change what I'm picking up, Michael? Is it still the same wave sound?
It's just waves on the ocean. No change at all.
I assume Anna's wandered in by this point. Had maybe heard that heard that statement. You kind of look at her and look at him and be like, "Did you bring that box in here?"
Does he see the box open? Can you see that from here?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Awesome.
No. Anna's standing directly in front of where the box would be, and he doesn't think to look to either side to see behind him.
Yes. Wait, what? Yes, I brought a box.
Yes.
It was in the, I took it from the slavers.
How did you escape this thing?
It was a lot of confusion at first. It just happened fast, and I took a chance.
What was happening?
It was these golems. 2 of them, I think. They just attacked out of nowhere. I don't know. Maybe they came out of the ground or the walls.
Why did you want to open the box?
Well, that's where they put all the stuff from the slaves, or the people they took.
But where did they take you from?
It was a big forest near a river. I don't know any names to the places.
Were you outside the wall?
Yes. The wall. Yeah, the big wall. I was outside, and then they picked us up. And they brought us in. But they're all dead now, I think. Or maybe some got away. I don't know. I just kind of took the box and ran. Did you open the box?
I'm picking up a truthful time.
You actually find he's incredibly difficult to read just because his facial expression is like very stoic, just doesn't change much. Like everything is kind of so pulled back. It's incredibly difficult to read. As far as the sound of his voice goes, it sounds like he's attempting to recollect things. It's a tough creature to read fully. You're not 100% sure with that role. He seems like he's being truthful as far as you can tell, though.
Anna will look at him and say, "Do you have a name?"
The one there was one with us that named me. That was on the wagon. I didn't know before. Clint. He remarked that my eye, how it shone in the light, or shone with light. So he just took to calling me Clint Eye. And I guess that can work if you need something to call me by.
Well, Glint Eye, I would be careful before you take the next step. What the box is in. If there is something that you would like from the box, we can discuss it. she'll kind of like look over to Xerces. You know, as you can see, this is his place, and as you can see, it's been ransacked a bit. And so, Rama, you may not be a thief. You're the only suspect at the moment.
Yes, unfortunate. Are there any shinies in the box?
Give him some coins and get him out of here. You don't need a pet.
Are there any shinies in the box? It's the best. That's basically what all D&D players ask at all times.
Pretty much. One way or another, that's what we all want. Are there fake shinies in this fake box?
Yep. That's the life right there. Are there any shinies in the form of a wand of power in the box? Please say yes.
Did I see any coins in the box?
There are some pouches in the box that look like coin purses.
Anna will walk back and grab one of the pouches and then bring it back and toss it to Quinn's eye.
Roll a percentile die, because there were 2 pouches.
Come on, look in that pouch first. Before you go giving stuff away to this character, we're absolutely going to say, try again, Croft.
Glint, a bag is tossed in your direction. What do you do?
How accurate does Anna throw the pouch?
I'd say right on the money, probably.
It hits Glint's chest and falls to the ground. And he stumbles forward, and when he kind of looks like he's trying to reach for it, when he does, he just kind of opens up his cloak, and you see there aren't hands. It's just these 2 nubs, and he's struggling to open the pouch and see what's inside.
Suru would pick it up for him. If he actually got that close.
Thank you. Are you just holding it?
I guess, yeah. I feel like he's holding it because he wants to dump it out, but you don't have palms, so I guess he would go to this table behind you and dump it out on there.
Dump all the coins out, and he turns around to look at the table. And Saru, you see his other eye, his closed eye, then pop open. He's looking to see if there's shinies. Does he see shinies amongst the coins?
No.
He's going to kind of just glance around at everyone and see what shiny stuff he sees.
Sees a lot of shiny stuff. It's interesting because as Saru, you open the bag and dump all those coins out. I'm sure the compatriots in the room see shinies in the form of somewhere around 75 platinum pieces just go ding, 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 and fall onto the table and fall onto the floor. As Glint looks over them and seems very disinterested, and then just turns and starts looking at all of you. As he does, his eye is open, and you can kind of see it in this image here. It's open larger and it's just this kind of white, glowing eye. As he's kind of just kind of just looking at all of you now. He doesn't seem that interested in the platinum pieces that are just now scattering on the table and onto the floor. But yeah, Glint, Isabel's familiar with what the party has on them, so you see all of those things.
You all glow so
He just looks like starstruck for a moment.
Chinese. With the more Chinese.
And he's gonna like take a 5-foot step forward. Just kind of like he just seems like drawn to like wherever he knows the box is, like or like he thinks where the box is, I guess. At this point. And he's gonna keep waddle shuffling forward towards it.
Xerces is just kind of like exasperated at this point, but he does stow his weapon and kind of stops thinking about what he just saw and is back to the task at hand.
That's far enough, friend. Why you didn't want the shiny platinum coins that are super rare and super valuable?
No, they're not shiny enough.
But what's shinier?
He turns at you and like his eyes are blinking.
You are shiny. Things on you are shiny.
Anna will pull off her. She has two. She's like a couple necklaces on. One is like the holy symbol of sin, and the other is the pendant that like helps her heal fast. She'll kind of like hold them out like this. She'll be like, "Are either one of these shiny?"
Are they both shiny?
I think only the pendant is
Okay.
the periapt of wound closure.
He points a nub at the pyramid.
Okay.
That is shiny. The shiny's in the box.
Can you show us what are the shinies in the box?
Sure.
He's
And
kind
then
of like
she'll kind of glance over to Saru and be like, "Sir, can you pick up my mess? I'm sorry."
We knew those platinum pieces.
She'll look a little chagrined.
how high are these tables?
I don't know, like counter height.
It's kind of like having to stand on his tippy toes to look into the box.
How do you
stuff.
escape if you don't have hands?
Just shrugs.
Can you do
The
magic?
chains just came off.
It just came off. You didn't break them.
Well, I didn't break them. Something else might have.
Looking over the box with your eye, you see a few familiar things. You see a small black pot, kind of like a small, like almost like shaped like a cauldron. It has like these small silver feet that kind of just like stick out underneath it that it sits on. That is glowing. There is a 1 foot long rod of these 3 intertwining metals, each kind of smooth and polished of differing shades of gray that just kind of like wrap around until they reach a point. At the end, that is glowing. There is a vial of, or like a glass bottle of reddish liquid that is glowing. And that is all that is glowing. Oh no, and then there's a ring that is glowing in the box.
He points at each item with his nub.
So
Are any of these-
four items are shown.
Are any of these yours?
Does he think any of those are his?
As you look over the items, Glint, there are two that stand out to you, though you're not 100% sure why. They're just like familiar when you're looking at them. One is this kind of black pot, a small kind of black, it's like a tiny baby cauldron that is familiar to you. You're not sure why. You don't have memories of this thing. And then the other is this kind of rod that is that intertwined rod of metal. Like those two, when you look at them, you think they are yours. You have no fucking clue.
The rod and the bowl. I think they're mine.
Think?
I just, when you just know something, but you don't know why.
No, I don't. I'm so confused.
It confuses me too a little, but I think they're mine.
So Anna will pick the both of them up. And she's almost gonna kind of hold them near him, and even brush him with them, just to see literally this thing magic happen if this thing is reunited with his items. Just she's not particularly threatened by them, and she also doesn't particularly care if one of them sets him on fire, and it's just them's breaks. It's just literally some guess and check trial and error going on over here.
As the cauldron kind of brushes into his shoulders, we see him start to crack and change and turn into Orcus. No,
that's I don't know.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm just shooting in the dark over here.
Seems totally fair. Croft, does anything happen as Anna brushes you with those random items?
No.
Okay.
Probably
It just looks like you're just brushing an item against.
Okay.
Anna, just give him his stuff and let's get him out of here.
And how do you suppose they keep his stuff, Stephen?
Throw it in his cloak or whatever that thing is. I don't know.
Oh, right.
He raises it up and pushes his cloak aside with one, and then you see him. There's actually this little bag kind of hanging off behind his back, and he just opens up the flap with the nub. It's just very loosely hanging.
In there.
Yeah, Anna gives him these two items back without checking them.
And as the items enter the bag, he starts transforming into Orcus. One of these times is going to happen.
Well, if that's all, it might be better if there was another place for you to stay tonight.
I don't really have any other place. This was the only spot that I could find. Wait. Shirley. I can be helpful. I could do stuff. Like I could see shiny stuff.
I don't need anyone to see shiny stuff.
But don't you like shiny stuff? I like shiny stuff.
Sure, but we've got plenty, as you've said, so...
Again, you know it. All the time.
Kind of.
Isn't
just not-
all.
Okay, other than your shiny stuff finding thing. Anything else you can do to help us?
You could, I could carry your bags if you get tired. If you, I don't.
Otto will just look. Otto will turn to Steven and be like, We have been looking for someone to carry the bag.
You don't need a pet.
If I don't like getting hurt, but if you like that, I can take a punch quite well.
Do you know where? You don't even know where we're going.
There's places nearby. There's wait, yeah, there's places, yeah, right, that you're going to.
Yeah, but you don't know where they are.
Does that matter?
Yeah, you don't know what you're signing up for, friend.
It's what else do I have?
Anything better than this, I can assure you of that.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, as you look over this almost corpse of a creature in front of you.
Glint Eye. It's the
Need the bag?
it's not even our place to stay, or to not stay. On a small smile will come across on his face. The tiefling back there, that's his place. So he's the one who really needs to give you permission if you can stay here for the night.
He'll immediately just go over in front of Xerces.
Please. I promise. I can help. I can do something for the kindness you showed me, for allowing me to have a roof for a couple of nights.
Xerxes kind of looks down at him, and the emotion of everything is quite high right now, but there's just something about the look in his eye. And Xerxes' face kind of softens for a little bit and says, yes, you can stay. I get some funny looks from people sometimes. But I can't say I've ever seen anyone that looks quite the way you do. What do they call your kind?
He shrugs.
I don't have a kind.
You're one of a kind.
I'm me. I'm gonna die.
You did not grow up with those that look similar.
You sound like you'll take a moment to try and think, really ponder. It looks like he's pondering at least.
No, not that I know of.
Do you at least have a land that you hail from?
Maybe once, but I don't really. It doesn't really matter anymore. It's probably gone by now.
Well, just try your best to stay out of my way. And, if you need anything, let me know.
You are kind. You know the struggle. Thank you. You know my name. What is yours?
Xerxes.
Good to meet you, Xerces. Of this shop. Of this town.
Just Xerxes is fine.
Okay. Xerxes.
Oh, by the way, did you see a mechanical bird anywhere?
I did. It was I tried to. It was broken when I found it. I tried to prop it up, but
He kind of folds his nubs up.
I couldn't do anything.
Where did you put it?
He'll show wherever that is, Michael.
Okay, you can see as he kind of like points back behind him, like on the other side of the forge, kind of where he was standing. There is the remnants, the pieces of Vogel, kind of sitting there, and it's kind of like when something is broken and you just kind of like lay the pieces on top of itself. It's kind of set up like that, as if maybe Glint could tell this was supposed to be a bird or whatever, but the pieces were a little beyond his repairing capability. It's not Legos, you know. It's a little more complicated than that. But there are pieces, and it seems like most of Vogel is resides there. Just the arcane core is currently not firing, and he is currently just like the metal, the shaped metal and stuff like that. Can be fixed, but currently innate.
Xerces would like to do an investigation of the forge area, looking for clues as to who might have done this.
Roll investigation check. Rolls, baby.
Rolls.
As you are kind of looking around, just like going around the forge, like thinking on all of this, as well as just kind of like sifting through the crap that's on the ground. There is a piece of paper. It's actually torn from one of the books, and it is just kind of like placed up above the forge. It's not somewhere that something would have likely landed from above or anything like that. It's kind of like tucked away a little bit. Looks out of place. And as you walk over and grab it, like pulling it down, scrawled across it, it says, "Sorry, old man." Like sorry, comma, old man. And then flipping it to the other side, it just says R.I.P. And it's just kind of scrawled over the top of a page of a book.
Xerxes' head hangs again, and he just whispers to himself, "God damn it." And he'll go over to pick up the pieces of Vogel, a few of the tools that he needs to fix him, and he'll go back to the front to his workbench and start the repairs.
Before you get too deep in your project, Xerces, do you think we can discuss a little bit? I don't know if you found anything, but I found a note that would be good to go over. I'm sure once you dive into fixing the bird, you don't want to be interrupted.
Fixing things helps me organize my thoughts, but yes, you're right. What did you find?
So Anna will show everybody. I guess one question: what is Glint-Eye doing? Is Glint-Eye just like in a corner?
Glint-Eye would have gone over to Saru, being the first one to step up to help him.
And when Xerxes walked away to go kind of sit and fix his bird, Saru would have leaned over to Glint and said, "He really likes to be called the Great Horned One." We'll give him some brownie points.
Yes, I will. He's clearly too modest to call himself that. But I know the proper title now.
Very, 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 very proud of his horns. You know, he considers them shiny too. So it's kind of one thing you guys have in common.
Great horned one. Yes. He's powerful. He's strong. Yes. This is his job.
This is he's pretty good at fixing stuff. Play your cards right, and he might be able to make you a hand or something, like he did Sarah over there.
Ooh. Hands. What was your name, Fluffy One?
My name's Saru.
Saru. And you hail for a place?
Far away, actually, over at Krazik. It's an island way to the east.
Zeke.
Does that sound familiar?
Roll a we'll say history check. Doesn't.
This stat sheet, Andrew. -1 whiz, +1 int, no hands.
Oh my
It gets better.
I'm sure. No doubt. This from the man who created Bones. Like,
the strongest lizard I've ever met.
yeah. Maybe he decided to go the other way.
That was part of the deal of making Bones. Is one day you have to make a character that takes the inverse of every stat.
The worst possible character. That's the cost for the perfect killing machine.
It's heavy on the
Alright,
RP. It's something this group desperately needs.
So Isabel, vanishes into thin air. Michael, can I make a new character now? Yeah, but it has to be level 0 before we start. So
That'd be comforting. That would be comforting if it was level 0. Means there's still ability score increases to come.
Yeah, have you finally convinced Croft to make that every class dip character? He's
So
level
many
8,
dips.
just a little bit of everything.
So many dips.
For 20 constitution, so he's just like a bag of hit points.
Yeah.
He did say he can take a punch. He did say
Yeah.
he can take a punch.
Say that. But after his pleasantries with Saru, he would go admire the arm Saru pointed out on Sarah. Kind of creepily, trying to touch it with his nub. See if it actually moves.
As she's kind of you may be looking at the box as people are kind of starting to huddle around there, and Glint kind of wanders over. She feels the arm kind of move a little bit, looks down kind of freaks for a second, and then kind of immediately tries to act like it wasn't a big deal. Yes, Glint, was it?
Yes.
It's probably best if you just don't,
Does it work?
Oh. She kind of thinks for a minute, realizing, yes, and she'll start kind of moving it around.
And it's not armor.
No, it's an odd question. He made it, actually.
The great horned one.
Oh God. Yes, the great hound one. He made it.
This is so sad.
Playing depressed Isabel for a year and a half.
By choice, Andrew.
I love this character so much. All right. So what do you guys
found a
looking at?
note?
Yeah, so on a Michael, if you want to make that note available for everybody,
Did that work?
and she'll be like,
Or is it?
I just hit show to players. Did that work?
Oh.
Great. See about now. Show to everyone. There we go.
well, I think Anna will look over and say, Glint, does the name Old Van Dory mean anything to you?
Muted Croft.
Sorry. What was the name again?
Old Van Dory.
Thinks for longer than a minute.
No.
Thank you, Glint. Anna will. Well, that, judging by the information we got about Old Van Dory from Warbreath, that's where, whoever that is, it's kind of that seems to be their base of operations, I think. Down south there, over the Fox, down the south, Foxy L. I don't really know what that means, but
You found this note in the box?
yes. So, it seems as like it's instructions of some sort. At least that's my inception. Maybe get the prisoners from there, and then this is where you're supposed to take them. I don't. Is in the dead bards? The way is one of rats and vermin. Mean anything to anybody? I don't know if Dead Bards was like maybe an inn or something in Briarwood. You know, was like the code to get through.
Anyone with that believes they have knowledge local, Briarwood, can roll a history check. Oh, wow. Yeah. Steven, definitely. You've either read about it or heard someone that was around the captain talk about something called the Dead Bard's Inn. The Dead Bard's Inn is located in actually outside of Briarwood in the southern area known as the Thicket. Just a tavern, one of the largest taverns and inns that is actually operating outside the walls of the city.
Anyways, I wonder if this was the instruction.
Maybe. Yeah, it seems clear. It's the instructions on how to set up the thing at the wall. Lint, the Foxisle? Does that sound like a place you've ever heard of?
No.
Can he see the sheet at all?
Sure.
I mean, if Glint wanders over, I'm just not gonna hide it from him.
He will point out though.
He's like, oh, is that a big forest?
Pointing at like
The lamb neck.
That maybe that's where they found me, or they took me. Was near there. river and a big forest is all I remember. And
He points to the thing and quotes.
they said something. I overheard them saying something about a password or something. Maybe that's that. The dead bards? Or the rat thing?
That was our guess as well. Do you remember what you did in the woods by the river?
I remember waking up on the shore of the river.
What were you doing in the woods before then? Do you remember that?
I don't know if I went into the woods. I don't think I did. I just remember seeing them.
How much memory do you have before you take it?
It's easy. Just images. Lots of water. That's what I remember.
We should have you and Duvall reminisce sometime.
Another like me?
Not quite. Sorry.
It's okay.
Does, anyways, I think this is, I don't know, maybe there were multiple, maybe the wagon was supposed to get there, or what they were led to believe that they were supposed to get there, and then they were intercepted by the cadaver collectors. There's two different factions at work here. The one transporting the people to the dead bards in, and then another where there's maybe somebody else up the cadaver collectors there for some reason. I'm unsure, but I assume it wasn't part of the people's.
You know, is any? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, anyone with quote unquote again knowledge of local Briarwood, but proficient specifically in Arcana can roll a history check. But you have to be proficient in Arcana to roll it.
So a new history check.
Yeah. Is there anybody else that has that? Awesome. Good ass rolls. Steven and Anna kind of thinking over taking kind of the name Foxhole out of where it currently is located and just kind of putting it on an island in your brain. There is actually a famous magic user by the name of Errolor Foxhole that kind of advised the Briarwood family pre-primordial incursion. Probably, honestly, the reason that both of you know her or of the name would have been because she came from Wolf Swallow, which is one of the poorest slums in Briarwood, and kind of like grew through the ranks, eventually making her way through the Kestrel Academy. But yeah, an elven woman. You'd probably have to, look more into it about more, but you at least know the name Errolor Foxhole in passing. Be that a connection, that's kind of obviously to be seen if there's a connection to the crossing or not.
Xerces did, what did they take? Do you know? And are you able to, was anything missing?
Unfortunately, yes. It was obvious that they had a specific target in mind. I was working on a prototype silent firing weapon before I left. That's why it took me months on the road ruminating in my mind in order to get it right here. I stored it in my secret hiding place where no one could find it. Unfortunately, it's gone. My black powder is gone. The tools used to service a firearm are gone. Anna, you once asked me to teach you how to use it. It's a dangerous tool. If mass-produced or put into the wrong hands, untold damage could be done. It was too important, even for friends of mine to understand. But I unfortunately know who did this.
Ooh.
Back in the incursion days, you may recall that I was a somewhat renowned adventurer. I don't want to brag, but people knew me. At the time, I was in this part of the world trying to do all I could, and I stumbled upon a young tiefling boy, 15, 16 years old, red-skinned, gold irises, broken horn, running from a group of rocks. He was injured. It was obvious that the boy had no chance of surviving. But, you know, when you have a job to do, you have a job to do. So I easily dispatched the Vrox and tried my best to nurse the boy back to health. He was a bit rough. I could tell he grew up rather hard. I think he was originally from the crossing. But it took several weeks for him to recover. While he stayed, you know, I didn't have this grand place at the time, but as he stayed in my camp, he got to see how I operate. He had a natural affinity for gears, and I started to think back at my own time as a young boy, when my mentor first found me in Greyforge. For a moment, I really thought maybe he could be the one to carry on my legacy. Unfortunately, he disappeared one day. I never saw him again. But after the incursion and I ended up on this side of the wall, I thought maybe near Riverwood would be a good place to build my shop. I thought maybe the young tiefling would come back. Maybe he had turned over a new leaf. wanted to do something with his life. Based on this note that I found in there, I'd say he has other intentions. The boy's name was Karai. And he is maybe the one person that could fix my prototype and would know how to use it. I can't believe I was this dumb. And he just sort of starts tinkering with Vogel's pieces.
Do you think Karai would have the ability to put that lock on your door? It looks very official.
I mean, it's just a lock.
Was there any like branding on it, Michael, or was it just like the style that reminded me of like the Lord's lock?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice. It was definitely like a nicer lock. But yeah, I mean, they're not necessarily all the same. But it was the way that it was done, just the like on a storefront that would remind you of Lord's lock. So it's possible that someone was just
Mimicking it.
mimicking
so
it.
not
It's also
something-
yeah, possibly.
Okay.
Karai wasn't fancy. Like I said, he grew up hard. He even when I was first saving him from the Vrock, injured and all, he still tried to steal my coin purse. I saw something in him and I wanted to believe that he could be more than just some street trash. Useful for more than just a thieves guild or muscle. He had real head on his shoulders.
Do you know why he disappeared, or did anything happen between you? Or was it just one day he was gone?
I only got word of one other time, years later. I heard that a tiefling with a broken horn was seen running from the general store in Riverwood, having cleaned out its contents, including some of the rarer ingredients that I require to make items like black powder. I assumed that he had fallen back in with his old friends at the crossing. But I've never seen him.
Nods. Sorry, Xerces. It's a harder that it was someone close to you.
I appreciate that, Anna.
Although,
We didn't necessarily spend as much time as you might guess together. Weeks here and there over the years. I think I'm more sad at what he represented and the loss of that.
well, that's who we think broke in and ransacked. What's missing? It makes more sense that it was an inside job, so to speak. And we have the fortunate luck to get this note. And whatever else is in here that we can be used. I would say I don't know if it's safe to rest here or not. Or rest nearby. I assume Xerces here wants to work. Work in here for a while for the evening. But I would say trying to follow this lead to the dead bard's end is at least interesting to me. Maybe trying to see where the password takes us into who.
It should be safe enough now. We're far enough away. We shouldn't have any unexpected visitors. It'd be good to get out of the rain, and yes, I do want to finish this up. He might just be a dumb mechanical bird, but he's my dumb mechanical bird. And he just goes back to work.
Well, we don't necessarily have to make a decision on what we're doing tomorrow, in the future of this moment. Does anybody have any ideas of what we can... Kind of like look over to Glint. She'll look over to Glint, and then she'll like, if you like watch Anna, you'll see her like, she'll just like pull out Sin's law. She'll just like be looking at it and like kind of like turning it over. You know, in her hands. And then she'll kind of look to Steven and Saru and Arthur and just be like, I don't think we can just send him out in the cold. Don't know what to do. I don't know how we can complete any mission. No offense, Glint. Like you said, you don't think you have anywhere to go. We have a lot of subterfuge most likely ahead of us.
I'm good at hiding. That helps.
Just tell us how you got captured.
Well, he raises up his nubs. They just took me. I was minding my own business on the riverside. But you know, I've come this far. I don't know the map how far, but I think it was far. It seemed very far. I can go farther. But can I keep up?
Anna will nod and like she's just like literally like just like look at Glint and then like look at the sword in her hand and then just be like, we can't put him out in the cold. Just, have you had anything to eat in a while? Do you need anything to eat or drink? She'll like rummage through her rations, giving him food or water or anything that he need.
Like you've seen him do several times at this point, he'll sit there and think for a moment, trying to think like when last he ate or drank.
I don't know.
Glint, when did you meet us?
Today? Tonight?
Okay. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's right. Good job. Just doing a little short-term, long-term memory test.
Yeah. Today, right now.
I don't know if we had a memento situation going on or what the deal is.
I don't know that movie.
He says, looking into the camera, Rock.
And if he'll take it, Anna will help him. Help pour some water.
Oh, yeah. He'll like try and like pick up like at least like the food with his
Yeah,
nuts.
sure.
And he'll like chew it.
I'm not really that hungry now that I think about it. That's strange. Don't things eat?
Can we detect undead? Is anyone in the party left who can do that?
Nope.
Good. The one person has that ability. Good.
Strategic, Croft. Good job.
Yeah, very strategic.
Actually, I don't know. I don't want to speak for Bartlett.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what Bartlett's
I
got.
don't
This
know.
time.
I don't know what Bart's have in their bag.
I think Amanda could probably do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad he's
I don't think
somewhere.
bards can. Clerics could.
Yeah, I don't know if Bards can.
I know that's why.
Sarah will definitely say something along the lines of like, just probably to Anna at some point, like, kind of notioning at her arm, be like, I guess I came a long way too. He does seem like he has a bit further to go.
Anna, especially if they're like by themselves, or like if more like as long as Glenn's out of earshot, she doesn't really
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, I presume he is.
It's not hard.
She'll just like look at Sarah and be like, almost every fiber of my being wants to shove him outside. Shove a sword through his back. He's just going to be a drag. I don't know. What are we going to do? There's just so much work to get done. We can't. How can we be seen in public? She's just like,
Yeah, Sarah will also like kind of. I guess it begs the question: how do we plan to go to Briarwood? Can we be seen in public? Do we know?
I would assume that we're not. Well, nobody knows who. Few people know who you are. We're still a few days away. I don't feel too dangerous traveling.
How many days away are we?
3 to 4, I think.
We're just
I can check.
We're just a group of people traveling on the road. And even traveling on the road meant differences. Kawa. We're traveling as a group. We don't stand up. And we're a little odd. But nothing to make anybody spare a second glance. As long as one doesn't stand up. We don't do good in this city. And then she'll kind of like just fiddle with like the base of Stim's law. And then maybe fiddle with her holy symbol. She'll be like, we are supposed to protect the weak. We are to uphold Sam's law. And he's weak. If I want to hold this thing, I have to live up to his standard. Maybe we'll find out. Surely there's a place in Briarwood or something we can drop him off. Place like asylum or something. I don't know.
I'm sure there are plenty of places that he would fit right in.
Temple. Somewhere.
Stephen, would you mind getting the hut ready for tonight? I know we're inside, but it might just be worth it.
I love how cocky Sarah's getting with her one good arm. Now that there's somebody with no good arms around, like this is really like the prison guard experiment right in front of us.
Yeah.
She has one excellent arm.
Yeah, she has literally one good arm is her normal arm. The other arm is like better arm. She's really
great arm, terrible user. This has been established.
Yeah, that's true. She did get a couple kills last time, if I recall.
Factually correct. Also factually correct. There were 3 of us, so
It's true. It's true.
Neither thing that has been said was untrue. You may interpret how you will.
Yeah, it's open to interpretation. Sarah MVP.
Steven will cast the hut into the bee and just like toss it at her and like you want the hut, you get to stay in it tonight.
She'll ask Xerces where he wants her to put it, so that it's out of his way, and then she will go put it somewhere, and probably not let Glint pass through the hut tonight.
Definitely not. I think Steven gets to make that call because I'm the one casting it. Yeah, that was a no-brainer. While she's doing that, I'm going to identify the ring and the vial.
If you guys want to go through a few of the, actually go through the thing.
And also maybe finding out how many platinum pieces there are and going through that second bag.
Yeah, so...
They added the 75 to the bag of holding.
The bag that was on the ground.
You did?
75.
Because just remember, Connor, Steven is carrying it.
Oh, that's right.
It's actually in the haversack. Because Suru had it out.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll take it
nice.
off the bag of holding. Cool.
Beautiful. Put that shit somewhere. So 75 platinum pieces. There is then a pouch with 150 gold pieces.
Yep.
Great
pick of bags, Anna.
Yeah, 150 versus 75 platinum. 50%.
She's like, this one feels lighter.
It did feel lighter. Then there's a couple more pouches. These are pouches that have like gems in them. One is a pouch with 3 diamonds, worth 50 gold pieces each. There is a pouch with 2 pearls, worth 100 gold pieces each. There is a excellently crafted bone dagger that has like these kind of tribal symbols on it. Anyone familiar with Orcish would know that these are like tribal or Orcish tribal symbols, like of savagery, war. There is the ring. It's golden with very like detailed like inlays on it, and that would anyone that's familiar with Maranthian designs. It looks Maranthian. That is the ring that is magical. There are 4 sets of manacles. Like I said, these are manacles that have sets of arms and ankles kind of attached. Then there's a set of keys, which if you check, it fits the manacles. Big surprise. There is the rolled up scroll, which was the rudimentary map of the veil with the markings on it. There is that's gone. There is a vial that has reddish liquid in it that is also glowing. You guys can look at it. You get to smell it. You don't have to identify it. It's a potion of greater healing. Then there are 4 more sets of vials. 2 have a thick dark green substance in them, and 2 have red liquid in them. Apologies, 3. There are 3 that have red liquid in them.
Anna will pass those off to Arthur and be like, you're the resident chemist now. Congratulations.
Identified the ring.
It is a ring of warmth. With little Maranthian patterns on it.
1 down.
Hey, Glint, can I see those? Yeah, right. Those
Yes?
2 shinies that we gave you. Can I look at them for just a few minutes?
Sure. You like to look at Chinese too?
Well, yeah. When I can figure out what they do. Yeah, that'd be great.
You can do that.
I can. Yeah, like I said, that I can. I'm kind of familiar.
Oh, yes. And he'll like. It takes him a while.
I was reaching into the bag.
Okay, yeah. He like pops open. He's like trying to dig at it with a dove,
Yeah.
but
No, please let me help you.
Yeah, he's cool with that. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't seem very, skilled with those things. You identifying those?
Yeah.
Arthur, can you figure out what the files are?
Yeah, already. What you got?
Files
Tell me
Sure,
what you want to do. You want to pop those open and taste them?
I was gonna say, let me drink one until let's see what happens.
Put your finger in one of them. Just let me know. Roll a D100.
I don't have.
Medicine or nature check. It's up to you.
Classic.
Roll a D100 so I know, or tell me which one you're going for. The one with the green substance or the one with the red.
70.
We'll go. Let's see what I do. Yeah, it's green. It's the green substance. As you kind of pop that open and you've seen Isabel do it before, like kind of wafting the scent towards you from far away.
I just stick my nose in it.
Yeah.
Very, very sommelier-esque. He gave it a swirl and leaned in. Yeah.
No, it's it smells like acrid, like very like kind of hurts your nostrils a bit. It's a strong smell, and like you feel like ingesting it would be bad for your health, but you are unsure of what it is.
Nice.
But it's probably not good for you. Nature medicine on the second set, the red vials. This one smells like iron, and kind of looking at it in the light a little better, it's pretty easy for you to discern that it is blood.
Yep.
And that's it.
So
Was it? I'm sorry.
Blood.
Oh, good.
blood.
Three small vials of blood, and then 2 of that, whatever that active is.
Cool.
Identifying the other 2 items.
Yep.
Stephen, there is the kind of rod with the 3 intertwining metal pieces is a rod of the Pact Keeper, +1. And the second, the small pot, essentially, that looks like a very tiny cauldron with these little tiny feet, silver feet that kind of look tentacle-esque, is a cauldron of rebirth. As everyone reading. What are we getting ourselves into? Reading.
We need a salt camel.
We've already established that Glint is getting dropped off at the first orphanage or temple or fire station that we can find. So
I don't know.
3 days, and then
How does 200 pounds of salt only cost 10 gold?
that's a great question.
Salt's cheap in this world.
Must not
man.
be kosher.
There's tons of salt here. Lick the earth. It tastes very salty. the veil is ripe with salt.
I do remember seeing on your map just the salt fields.
Yeah.
I think
Salt.
that was it was an entire desert of salt.
Yeah, it's actually Moranth. It's just salt.
At any point, does Steven relay what he finds out when Glint's not
Yeah.
Does he tell Glint?
He's horrified. No.
Or do we do this in the hut? Like we're going down for the hut and then
Yeah,
Steven...
no. Glint does not know. If he interferes with one thing that we're doing, done. Not holding us up. It's too important.
Anna will nod and say, I understand, Steven. He's just vulnerable, weak.
That's fine. You're right. We're the good guys. Yeah, great. Yeah, yes. But
I have a feeling
when we start becoming hindrances to achieving the good, we're on the same page.
I'm sure maybe something like mouthpiece would be interested. Unfortunately,
Yeah, we could pray to Isabel. She's a god now. It's a great plan.
Anna will smile and say, unfortunately, the people who would be interested in his ability to just detect magic items probably mostly not the savory types. Because that is quite useful to just see them all. But, yeah, we'll have to find a place for him.
Can I ask a meta question? Because there's just no way we're going to remember it otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look in the Sin's lamp? See if Isabel left anything. Steven doesn't have to be the one to find it, but like we're just going to forget if it doesn't get asked right now. So that's why.
Did Isabel put the lamp in the bag?
Yes.
The lamp is in the bag.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a very meta question. I'm asking the DM for permission.
You'll have to ask Crawford. There's no left anything in the bag.
There's nothing in the lamp.
Okay. Thanks for nothing, Isabel.
The lamp. The lamp.
I'm perfectly good.
That's why salt is so cheap in the bird. Right there.
Yeah, Ray's dead. Just buy a bunch of
Salt.
Just bring somebody back to life.
Xerces is... I assume Xerces is still working. Maybe after we make our jokes about the old man staying up late tonight, Anna will ask him to... Does anybody else have any initial thoughts on what they'd like to try in Briarwood? Do you want to see... go after this dead bard? See if we can... Dead bard's in and see where it'll lead us?
We can, I guess. I don't really know. We don't know that has a connection to Odalric and Scene or anything. So, oh, Michael, I love your new logo emblem in Google.
Hey,
Michael's got a new emblem in Google.
I do.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it'd be nice to know if they had a connection to the hole in the wall or not. 'Cause that reeks of unseen meddling. So.
I mean, you may be right. I just think. I think we should probably get the bigger lay of the land first before going straight there. We never heard back from Lord Briar, so it'd be nice to know if he's still around, or if there's been some secret coup or whatever, and then that might be a way in to start infiltrating. But I think until we have a better understanding of what the situation is there, I don't want to just walk into this random inn that I think your instinct is right. I think it could totally be unseen meddling, but we don't know where that leads yet.
Yeah, I guess then just are you thinking we are going to? I mean, not just walk up to the palace environment, I assume.
No, but I mean, I think it'll be pretty easy to, me at least, to go see if anything's changed where I used to live, and we have Lunes and the Arcane Eye, and can at least get an idea of if yeah, at least get an idea of if they've openly declared themselves or not. Our priority was the Embers.
Michael, you said the Dead Bard's Inn was on the outskirts?
Right.
Yeah, in the thicket. I will pop over to that map because I put it on there. Since you have uncovered it. So the Dead Bard's Inn is this. Oh, that's not a ping. Over here. Did that work?
No.
Maybe it's not visible.
Oh, now I got it.
Oh, I see it.
I see now.
Sweet.
Looks like a clan hood.
From a
It
distance,
does.
yeah. Okay.
The city's freaking huge.
It's big. Sprawling. So that's outside the city. It's kind of hard to see, but basically all the inner ones within my little...
Wait, is this walking distance in minutes?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really cool. Okay,
So
I'm glad you said that because I just saw MI and I thought miles. Like, holy cow!
That's why I took the second look, because you said it's like, this thing's huge. I'm like, and I saw the 50. I'm like, 50 miles.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
so
you.
there,
That makes me
everything within the red ruler that I just put up there, that's like within the city walls.
Yep.
Everything. The 11, 12, and 13 are the three
Where the pores live.
quote-unquote wards that are outside the thicket, not technically considered a ward of the city officially. They like to pretend it doesn't exist.
I will nod and say, well, I had sort of thought on the approach that we would stop at an inn.
And you'll be coming down this road from the very top. FYI.
That's what I figured. Now,
If you take the road down. Yeah, that's the road into the city.
glancing at my map, it doesn't look like we can get to the thicket very easily from the road we're taking in.
You could. I mean, you would walk through. You would either have to walk through fields outside, which you could. There's kind of roads that go through there, or you could kind of start walking through the outer village and then make your way around the city walls to get to the thicket. But yeah, the thicket is on the southern side of the city. More so. The southern side, I guess, more the western side. But...
Anyways, it's just a thought. I sort of think it would be used to get more information about what is going inside the city walls anyways. The rumors, different things going on and going on the outside. If it's in the thicket of town I wasn't too familiar with. We obviously live a lot of our way coming in, but we'd find out more information. Find out the latest rumors, if there's anything else Riverwood's not hearing there, and maybe maybe find out what was going on there too. Just thought. So
Yeah, we can see. I mean, that's a couple days away.
Yep.
I guess I'm of the mind, if we think it's an unseen place, I'd rather go other places first to try and find out some information before the unseen hopefully get a whiff that we're there.
I don't have anything else and can go to bed for the night.
Hitting the hay.
Yep.
Xerces staying up to work on Fogel until Fogel's complete before hitting hay.
Yeah, and he'll sleep in his own bed. He won't sleep in the hut.
Dope. Gives Glint his chance. Wink.
Time to get murdered.
No, it's actually it's if I'm allowed or not, right? It's not a mount. If they disallow.
Yeah, I think it's disallowing.
Yeah.
But
I guess Otto will probably, he'll probably step outside the hut and keep working Sin's Law. Probably muttering under his breath.
The box from the wagon will automatically close and reseal after 10 minutes of time if nothing was taken out, or if it was taken out, just so you're aware. The box does reseal after the knock spell wears off on it, which would let Steven and anyone else know that it is under the effects of an arcane lock.
I assume we could knock it again. If we moved like the lid far away, does it like fly over the top?
Yeah, the lid's just attached, so the lid can't even be removed fully unless you take it off the hinges itself. But yeah, it'll just seal after 10 minutes. But you could also just empty it and then just cast it aside if you want, or keep it for all I care. It's a arcane lock that you don't know the passphrase to.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and leave that.
Up to you. But it is an arcane lock, so the more you know. If there's nothing else for the remainder of the evening, you guys can sleep. If there's anything anyone wants to do, obviously watches are set. I presume. Xerces kind of works into the night before hitting the hay.
Glint just sits in a corner all night.
I love it. Looking at the shiny bubble.
Looking at the shiny bubble. Unflinching eyes.
Oh, God, it's so good. Let me hit that sweet calendar. Advance the date. Oh, the rain goes away. It's so nice. Oh, it's not late evening. I wish that would reset when you advance the day. As we got in late, we'll say that it's late morning by the time they'll start getting up. Let's go here. Kill the storm. All right. So what is the plan for the day? Finding a rip nugget?
I assume just head towards Briarwood.
Oh.
Lovely.
Before we go, Michael, Xerces just wants to look back at some of his notes, some of the things he was working on, and he's specifically just looking for anything that could help, either, old things that he was working on and just trying to jog his memory, or specifically something to help Sara's arm be more efficient as well.
Ooh, okay. Roll actually. So since your stuff's scattered about, I'm gonna have you roll a luck roll. So just roll a D100, and I'll tell you what that means between sessions.
100.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Let me note that real quick. Okay, so you find some books that you think will be kind of helpful to you. You know, the crew is kind of on a wanting to get there. You know, you'll be able to have a chance to come back and before you kind of exit the shop and lock up, kind of spending the night working on Fogel, cleaning up a little bit here and there. You're able to kind of gather some notes, some things that you think will be helpful. You'll be able to re-up on black powder because not all your black powder is gone, and also re-up on like a large amount of ammunition. So you don't have to currently make all that shit for the time being. We can talk about how much shit that is if you want at some point. We can figure it out, but you kind of have a stockpile. And then we can also talk about Fogel between sessions.
Got another familiar.
Who's to say? There's not enough creatures in this party.
The difference is like, Xerces is not going to just like throw its life away, like Lunes.
Can't see through
10
Fogel's eyes.
GP, not bringing him back.
Yep.
He's just smashed to death.
I thought 10 GP would bring somebody back if we stuck them in that cauldron.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
true.
it seems like.
NGP full assault. Just hit the hard part is finding that much salt.
Yeah.
You can pay for it. It's easy to pay for.
The local
gotta
grocery
find-
stores don't have 200 pounds of salt on hand.
Just gotta find some barrels full of salt.
It's
Y'all got
gonna
any more
be-
of that salt?
It's gonna be like how you can't buy Sudafed anymore because all the grocery stores start calling the other ones like,
Yeah.
"Hey, these teenagers are buying Sudafed. Stop! We're calling the cops."
These glowing-eyed teenagers keep coming by and filling their little barrels full of salt. I don't know what they're doing, but I don't like it.
By the way, did Steven tell Glint what his items did?
Oh,
Cool. Did he give them back?
yeah. He gave them
Okay,
back.
okay,
Just
cool.
definitely not.
Okay, cool.
It's just sitting in the bag.
They're on your character sheet. I'll let you continue with the path you've laid out for yourself.
All right. So hitting the road in late morning. The road kind of just winds down near the river, kind of follows the river down towards Briarwood before it starts kind of splitting off into going out into the outer village and around the city and through the farmland and all that stuff. But there is kind of the main road that for the most part sticks near the river until you get kind of closer to Paragus, and it's on the you have to cross the river first, but is the intent just to kind of head that direction, walking down the road? Just a group of chill
anyone has any
travelers.
Suggestions.
No.
Just a group of chill, totally normal, totally average travelers.
Totally average travelers.
Just a bunch of guys. Well, I guess Anna technically now, but I was about to say guys being dudes. Still got Anna and Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah's still here. Okay, cool.
I like reading the Raise Dead spell, as in like, just reading about it. Coming back from the dead is an ordeal.
They're not fucking around.
Just so you're aware.
Yeah.
And
-4 doesn't seem that terrible as an ordeal, but it's still pretty bad. So as you're heading down, acting just like a bunch of chill dudes traveling, is there anything that I need to know? Like, are you readying disguise self? Are there things of that nature that I need to be aware of? If you see travelers on the road, which would not be weird to see travelers on the road, but if you do, are there things you're taking precautions?
If we
is there
look,
anything that I need to know?
If as we're walking down the road, Anna will just like glance back at Glint. If he's like trying to keep up and keep his, cowl pulled up? Does he just like kind of fit in?
I mean, I'm probably from a distance. He would just look like a beggar, like a homeless sort of thing. He's short, barefooted, but the cloth covers most of him except for his face.
You think we can get him some better clothes before we leave Riverwood?
There are inns, or there's a general store in Riverwood that you can buy clothes in. Then I can look up what it's called. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to get more traveling clothes or any other gear, you could do so.
Anna's really just more looking for something like, something that's going to make Clint look less like a homeless beggar and more like the rest of them, which is just, upgrade him to vagabond like the rest of us.
Dirty traveler.
Maybe get him some shoes at least.
Doesn't need the nicest stuff, but upgrade him to near do well, just like the rest of us have been on the road for 63 days. I'm sure we're not like,
They would be huge, but he could wear the blue royal robes that we found a long ass time ago.
Yeah, no, that's the wrong. That's an overcorrection.
The opposite.
Look, they look fine. I mean, it's a little big, but you're fine. He drags
for like 2 feet.
So you're just holding them up.
Yeah. Anna, sorry, you guys are women. You're good at sewing, right?
There is a general store. It is called Cleats. And you could buy traveler's clothes there for two gold pieces.
Good job, Michael. Way to name the general store.
It is literally in my notes. Cleats.
Anna
It is run by Jermaine Cleats. He is a human male.
Anna will take 2 gold out of her store.
Hell yeah.
And we'll get some clothes, some better clothes for Clint.
Love it.
And present them to Clint. Clint, these should help you fit in with us a little better as we travel.
Struggles with the shoes.
Sure. Anna will help him with the shoes.
Are they Velcro?
I'm not sure that helps.
I don't think that's a thing invented.
Yeah, Xerces needs to invent that.
Yeah.
While he's working on his spacecraft.
Yeah, no. While we're walking, we'll pass some weeds. We can grab a couple sticky burrs and we'll stick the shoe tops to the shoe sides.
Yeah.
There we go.
Make sure it's Velcro.
Untied. Yeah.
So,
He just tells you to throw the nicer cloak just over his bad cloaks.
that's fine. That's fine.
So it just adds to the layer. Eventually, it's probably going to look like that anyways.
I mean, it's winter, so it's almost winter. It's not bad to have layers. Yeah, I mean, it basically looks like an old fellow, just kind of wandering closely behind you guys, probably trying to keep up.
He seems to be able to keep up well enough.
Yeah.
He does this kind of like quick shuffle waddle.
Yeah.
Like his feet like never really leave the ground.
Perfect.
After spending a hefty 2 gold, you guys are feeling a bit lighter on the move south. All right. So other than making Glint look more presentable, anything I need to know from you?
Steven might disguise himself when he sees travelers, considering he hasn't traveled like this before. If it seems like it's going to be happening all the time, he might give it up, but at least to start.
Dope. I'm just kind of trying to set the tone and the precedent as we move forward to city life these next few days, weeks, years. I don't know what's going to happen. So
50 mile city, yeah, it sounds like it'd be years. We want to
So
go
the
visit the
road.
shop. Oh, that's a 4 days trip.
You can't imagine how excited I was when I learned I could make it turn to minutes. I was like, perfect. Then
Yeah,
they can
that's
just measure and see how far it takes them to get places. So the road travels down the western side of the Paragus River, headed basically all the way to Briarwood. Those of you who have traveled in the region, since the burning, are pretty aware that there are a few small homesteads along the way, but most are not directly on the road. Some are nearby. There's basically no official inns between Riverwood and Briarwood, at least Briarwood proper. And there's no really like stables or other real businesses until you reach that outer village portion of the city of Briarwood, which is pretty sprawling. But you also know that there is, as I said, a decent amount of travel on this road, often between Riverwood and because this stretches from Briarwood all the way up to Fort Phoenix. So there is often travel, just daily travel back and forth between Riverwood, Fort Phoenix, etc. So seeing people on this road is not out of the ordinary. Learn some things. Okay. So it is about half your day gone on this first day of travel when you get your first sight of travelers. You can see that there is a group a few miles off to your south. They are heading north on the road, so in your direction. From this first kind of instance of seeing them either cresting over a small hill or around a bend, whatever it may be, you can tell that they have 2 wagons, each pulled by 2 horses. The wagons aren't covered and don't resemble passenger wagons or merchant wagons. They look more like flatbeds for hauling. From this distance, you can't really make out anything more than that. There are definitely a few shapes walking alongside the wagon, and at least 1, maybe 2, inside each wagon. That is what you see just for free as you kind of get a glimpse of this. First random encounter, as I would like to call it. Random road encounter. What are you going to look like, Steven?
Today we're gonna look like human male, thick, bushy, brown beard, shaved head, and a couple tattoos on the left arm.
Love it. Is there anything else anybody else wants to do? Arthur shoots him. Just take him down from here. You guys are pretty good at range. Okay. As you moving down the road, them getting closer, you can start to make out a bit better what you're seeing. They are 2 horse-drawn wagons that appear to be filled with lumber, is what it looks like. 4 horses. There are pretty clearly 3 dwarves and 2 humans. They all look fairly well built, and they're all kind of dirty looking. And they're kind of approaching you guys for a while until you're finally getting close, maybe meeting within 300, 400 feet, and they actually pull off the road a little bit, and like look like they're starting to like do stuff with their wagon. Like some of them are walking around the wagon, kind of like unloading. They're looking fairly leisurely as they're doing this, and they're in like they're like maybe 15 to 20 feet off the road. The area kind of like closer to the river. The river has a little cliff and a bed that's kind of nearby. And they look like they're starting to unload some of the stuff. They're like pulling stuff out from behind the wagons. And just like, you can see them kind of talking to each other. They don't seem to be paying much attention to you guys that are 300-400 feet away at this point, and they're just kind of leisurely, seeming like they're unloading some stuff.
I'm walking towards them, I guess.
Yeah.
Lovely. As you guys kind of start approaching, you can see that some of the things they're unloading, there's 3 of the dwarves that now have shovels, and they've kind of like stuck the shovels in the ground kind of off the road. You guys are, probably within 50 feet at this point. And they've unloaded a few large, worked logs that kind of have like tops that seem like kind of like squared off and like worked a little bit, and that none of it looks like relatively like fancy or nice, but they are starting to like a couple of them are starting to dig in the ground, and some of them are like talking like, no, like do it here, do it there. Like they're all just kind of like figuring out what exactly they're doing. And as you guys kind of get close and they're walking by, like one of them, a human man, kind of like looks over his shoulder and like kind of like gives you the wave, like howdy, and then kind of like gets back, and he seems like he's directing traffic almost.
Pleasant day, friends. How goes it?
It's going well. Long day this far for us. Just getting some work done out here.
What are you building?
Well, to be honest, I don't technically rightly know. But you get an idea. When you're contracted to build some structures consisting of 2 uprights and a crosspiece that can hold 800 or so pounds, survive the elements along the road from near Paragus, well, it doesn't take a smart fellow to realize he's been hired to build some gallows.
Fun job, that is.
Yeah, it's not my most interesting job, but it pays. So
why all the way out here? Because they came from the south, right?
Yeah, they came from the south. Well, we've actually had to put up quite a few. This is the 4th. There's actually going to be one more north of here towards Riverwood, probably near where you guys are heading from.
Oh, things all right down in the city?
Like I said, I wasn't exactly told exactly what we were building, just the specs. And I haven't heard much on orders from the Lord.
I'm sorry, did you say they aren't orders from the Lord?
They're on orders from the Lord.
Got it. Yep. Okay. Well, that's I guess the road to the city will be lined with gallows, I guess. That's
it's it's odd. It's not unnormal to have a a gallows with some criminals, some.
Sure.
But I haven't heard much of anything. I don't know why they need so many. I don't know if it's just some kind of weird pissing contest with Fort Phoenix or what. I'm not sure. But like I said, the pay is just, it's worth it. We're going to spend a few days in Riverwood, actually, when we're done.
Well, excellent. Well, have a good luck with your work and enjoy Riverwood.
I appreciate it. You have a good travel south. It's a nice day for it.
Cheers.
He'll kind of start to mosey back and tell someone they started digging the hole in the wrong spot or something. But
it's horrifying.
Yeah, don't through that information, but don't love it. We haven't seen there hasn't been a kid from the fellow from the north.
No kids on the road, turns out.
Okay, just let me know.
No kids on the road.
Anna's kind of like glancing around.
And anytime you wanna bait that hook, Michael, I'm here for you.
Anna's like,
I'm ready.
Plenty of kids in Briarwood.
Yeah, I'm sure there will
Start
be
asking
all the kids in Briarwood who Anna just every single one. Are you from Riverwood?
Alright.
I've got his name written down somewhere. I'm sure
We can just go to the table.
Alright, so a good rest of the day later, it starts to approach dusk. Pretty easy day of travel for the most part. Those were the only people you saw. And as you're kind of approaching dusk on this multi-day, you probably arrive on the third day, generally. You can actually see in the distance, not too far from your current location. Cooper almost falls over. You can see that there is a fully constructed gallows on the side of the road. Looks to be constructed from the same wood that those guys are working with. It's just kind of like dug and hung. There are no ropes or anything hanging from it. There are no people. It's just the two upright and the crossbeam.
How many people does it look like it could hold?
It could hold 4 to 5 across, you would think. He mentioned somewhere in the realm of it needs to be able to hold 800 pounds, but it's fairly decent sized. What's the plan? Are you guys pulling off the road to sleep? Or are you guys traveling through the night?
I assume we'd pull off the road to sleep and hut up.
Hut up.
That the DM asked, do you want to keep going?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Is Glint allowed in the hut?
He sleeps out up top with the cat.
Is Glint taking Isabel's watch?
Another good
Yeah,
question.
like we're trusting Glint with a watch.
Anna's up.
He doesn't seem to blink.
I'm feeling Glint's gonna take all the watches because he doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
So.
Who's this thing?
Yes, he can be in the hut.
If only you had a cleric. That could.
It feels different in here.
Yeah, because it's warm in here.
Warmth. You're amazing. You can do this.
I can.
Every day?
Can.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is awesome.
Marveled at it on the inside.
I just imagine him like trying to touch it, and it's, well, I did this, and that's not right, but
Glint, Glenn, does it look shiny? Can you see it?
He opens his other eye. I imagine it's shiny, right?
Yeah.
What color does it shine?
That's a good question. Is it an abjuration spell?
Looking. Evocation.
Evocation? Oh yeah, that's funny. I don't know. Evocation? I feel like it's red. That's what my gut. That's what my gut tells me.
He would just say it shines red.
Interesting.
Fireball and Tiny Hut, just two standard evocation spells. Totally
sending.
the same.
Sending, right? Is evocation too?
I think so.
Hilarious.
It's evocation. We don't know where this goes. It goes in evocation.
Yeah.
Glint, if we are passing anything or going anywhere, you see something shiny, just please tell me. Outside of, what we normally have on our persons. I understand those shiny.
Right. Yes. I will try to keep my eye open for it.
Thank you, I appreciate it, Glint. That's not just to go work with Sin's Law. Exit stage.
A walking metal detector. It's very good.
And I want to be honest with you. Trouble seems to find us quite easily. If we get in a scrap, do you have the skills to protect yourself?
Like I said before, I'm good at hiding.
Hiding is good, but fighting would be better.
I could try.
Have you never fought before? Only hid?
Maybe before the fuzziness I fought.
And he's like points to his head.
The memory. It's maybe I simply forgot.
Isabel was the one who had greater restoration too. That'd be handy.
Sweet cleric list gone.
We're gonna hire a cleric in Briarwood.
Oh, hello. My name's Bull Seal. I'm a cleric.
30 gold pieces for a month.
Not bad.
Will not cover funeral expenses.
Yeah. Those are much more expensive. Diamonds, baby. All right.
A dose.
The night passes peacefully. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. We are burning through days right now. 20th, the routing. Okay. Arthur. A couple of hours into the day, you actually track some movement across the river in the forest. And you can see it seems like they're not stalking is kind of bad, but there is a pack of wolves that you at one point kind of spot just with your scanning the area, and you can see there's, I don't know, first you peg one and then you 3, 4, 5. There's probably 6 plus wolves kind of just moving kind of off of the riverbank ahead and like into the woods. You just kind of see them padding along in there, and you're able to kind of like track them for a little while. Just something that you would note along your day here.
I note it.
I note it. After, let's say, a little less than half your day gone, you pass by another gallows. Similar to the first one that you saw, this one too is kind of offset on the side of the road. You can tell it's been freshly constructed there by the dirt that has been dug up, and they've been kind of interred there. This one too looks just like the previous that you saw. No forms or anything hanging on it. It's just there by the side of the road.
Glint wants to check it for shiny.
Lovely. Glint kind of walking around it. Nothing seems to shine.
He just kind of does that periodically, randomly throughout the day.
Love it.
Looks at the ground a lot.
Just gotta scan, Gotta have that scanner on. Before, come on, you. As you're kind of getting to that dusk point, you still have a little days left of travel. You can see ahead of you as you're kind of breaking off from the river at this point, heading towards more inland a little bit to get closer down to the main kind of entrance to the outer village of Briarwood, and then into the city proper. You're starting to get to that region when you can see ahead on the road again. There is a single wagon pulled off to the side of the road. There is a horse that is drawing that wagon, or was. It's just kind of standing off to the side at this point. It is also a flatbed, much like the others. This one, though, has kind of a thick tarp pulled over the back, so kind of covering up whatever cargo they may have. You can see milling about. There are 4 humanoid figures kind of walking around, and you note that they are kind of milling about the area where there is one of these constructed wooden gallows. And as you kind of are looking onward, kind of walking in that general direction, you can see that they have some ladders that they are like kind of setting up, and there is someone kind of walking up one of those ladders with what resembles a corpse. And he looks to be starting to string something up on those gallows. And that is where we will end the session.